Hi, welcome to Think Tech. We are raising public awareness about technology, energy, diversity, and globalism. This show is Center Stage, and I am your host, Donna Blanchard. I'm the proud managing director of Kumukuhua Theater. We are coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Kumukuhua Theater, where we do not have a show running right now, but you can always check us out for future shows. I'm very excited to tell you about my guest today. His name is Holden Santi, and he is a young man that is involved in theater and the arts and has some really wonderful aspirations. And the first time I met him, I said, wow, I would really love to have you on my show. And you're going to learn why in just a moment. We're Skyping in from the snowy state of Michigan today. Welcome, Holden.
Hi, Donna.
Hi. It's so nice to have you on the show. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to do this.
Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, it's glad to be here.
Okay. Have you been interviewed on a show before?
On a show? No. This is like my first interview, Skype or otherwise, for television or something. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
That's awesome. The first of many, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when I met you initially, I could tell this is a guy who has great aspirations and intelligence and expression. I don't know about your talent. I know that you just got a big role in Big Fish.
Yeah. In Big Fish at my high school, I got the role of the witch, which is a really fun role, which I'm really excited to do because partially just because the role is usually played by a woman, and I'm excited to see how we can, work with this and I can give my own kind of uniqueness to the role as a male. Yeah. Especially.
That's awesome. I think I applaud your high school for doing that, for taking a leap like that. And I can tell you, I directed a version of Julius Caesar one time and cast, there's precious few roles for women in a lot of Shakespeare works.
Yeah.
We cast several of the roles as women, including Cassius, and without changing a single line, it changed we didn't change a line, and we let them be women. We didn't try to pretend that they were men. And it was really kind of magical what happened, because it's all about energy. Yeah, so
Yeah, and I love it. I love it when directors can do that, when they can work creatively, when it's kind of like, without gender or without color or without anything. And it's just kind of like give the role to someone and let them give their own creativity into it and put their own performance and uniqueness into it. It's really nice.
That is very cool. I wish I could see you in it. So I don't. That's my proof that you're also a very talented young man. And I knew that this is the sort of person that I would like to talk to on the show. And I like to talk with artists of all different ilk, just to hear, to get the scoop on what you do and how you do it. And I really love to talk about why you do it. And you bring something very unique here because you are so young and fresh, which frankly is always cool. I think as an artist, it's always cool for us more seasoned people to talk with you because of your enthusiasm and your fresh point of view is good for us to be around, just for the energy itself, but also there have been our culture is continuously evolving, and we have evolved more. Like every 10 years, we evolve more than we used to evolve in 100 years before. So I'd also really like to talk about, to dig in a little bit to learn some of the differences in how your generation absorbs entertainment itself. But let's start with. Okay, so what year are you in school?
I am a junior. I'm in 11th grade, yeah.
Okay.
1 year away from being out of high school, which is both exciting and scary.
Oh, but you're already thinking about college.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. And you already know that you want to study the arts in particular?
Yeah, definitely. I think my dream college, I mean, and yeah, my dream college would definitely be, there's a school in Chicago. It's called Columbia College, and it's a tiny little liberal arts college there. Only takes up a couple blocks as the campus, and it's the only college in the world that offers like a degree or a major in comedy writing and performance. And, I just think that's so wonderful that they offer that. Me thinking that I'm kind of a funny person. I'd love to study that further. And they work with the Second City, which is a acting comedy improv troupe in Chicago, which is awesome because I'd love to, make connections there and maybe outside of college and after get to work with them and kind of navigate my way through the comedy world.
Yeah, that's exciting. And anybody who watches the shows knows that I have a connection to Columbia College. There's a lot of really great people working there that I look forward to introducing you to, a couple of whom I've interviewed on this show. So tell me this, when was the first time you were exposed to theater? Do you remember?
Yes, I do remember because in my elementary school, it was every year the fifth graders would put on a production of whatever, Peter Pan. And when I was in fifth grade, it was Alice in Wonderland. And I remember I'm going to be the Mad Hatter in that Alice in Wonderland if it kills me. And I did. And it was really fun. And I was like, and I think that is when I first thought, wow, this is what I want to do with my life. I really enjoyed that so much that it stuck with me, all the way up and, 6 years later. And yeah, it's really made a big impact. That first, Alice in Wonderland in the fifth grade was, yeah, wonderful.
Oh, well, kudos to the teacher who made it a wonderful experience. But had you seen live theater before then?
Yeah, I mean, like professional, definitely at the Wharton Center, my school my school definitely, the district has made great strides in the arts and stuff, and they've, made it, important for the children to be exposed to that. So, we'd always go to the Wharton Center and watch them put on productions, and I've seen them outside of school with my parents, and our high school is great with the arts. So yeah, I've seen a lot of live theater and stuff, and it's really great.
Oh, good. Well, and that's great that your parents were taking you to see live theater throughout your life. You'd be amazed how many people I know who are involved in the arts now who were not exposed to it until high school, college, or even later in life.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, because I can believe that because there are some people who I just feel, there's kind of like this thing surrounding theater, how it's more, macho or something to be in sports or something. And then, but, once you discover that theater is actually like really cool and a great environment to be around, then you're like, wow, yeah, that's there. And I can explore that avenue as well. And I think that's really cool that, even, for people later in life or later in their, life can experience that and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think you like about it?
Well, definitely just the people, which is specific to definitely my high school, but I think you can, incorporate it into everything. How the people you're working with definitely make it a great environment. My closest friends are in my theater, and I just love how when I'm doing it, I'm surrounded by the people that I love. And also that, that we have such great productions that we're putting on. And I think that, yeah, definitely the director in my school are making, putting a lot of effort into making this a wonderful experience. And the actors are great, and the sets and the costumes and everything is just wonderful.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're a part of a team doing something that you can be really proud of.
Yeah. There's a lot of pride in what we do, a lot.
That's cool. How many productions a year does your high school do?
We do 3 normally. We just switched directors this year from our old one. He moved down to Florida. So last year in my freshman year, we did 3, all directed by him. We did 2 plays and a musical. And the first play was like everyone got in, and the second one was a black box production, which was really cool to watch and stuff. It was real neat. And then the third was a musical. But this year, with under our new director and our new instructor, he has his own theater production company in our area, so he can only do 2 shows a year. So he does a play and a musical, or this year it was 2 musicals, but next year it's going to be a play and a musical. But the students this year wrote a show to be the second show in our 3 shows a year that I got to be a part of, which was also really cool, seeing how that, they allowed them to write their own show and be creators themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very awesome. Okay, so that's a nice segue into my next question is, how did you, when I was your age, I was very involved in shows, but it never occurred to me to write my own. It never occurred to me to want to write. And I was involved in, now don't laugh because this was very big in the 70s. I was part of a mime troupe. Right? It was very big. And it was like the precursor to then everybody let mime go and then everybody was involved in improv groups. It was basically the same group of people that moved from one to the next. And we devised shows. That was my earliest introduction to that. But it was never a part of my personal makeup. I didn't have a longing to write or develop a work. I wanted to work with a piece that had already been developed, and my art is taking that and making it my own. So you were exposed to that last year in school, but what about before then? Had you been thinking as a writer before then?
As a writer, I got into this actually, I wouldn't want to say pretty recently, but it was more recently than not. My dad gave me a book for Christmas one year called Poking a Dead Frog, which was all about kind of like the behind the scenes of things, of like movies and TV shows of comedy. And as this, being, I'm not going to write. And then I read this and I was like, wow, just, it got back to the pride, how these people are like, they're writing this, and even though they're not performing it, they love what they're creating, and they're creating these wonderful things. And I thought, I can do that, I think. Oh. So I've gotten more into writing, and I actually hope to write the next show for next year in my school.
Oh, wow. Do you have writing for the stage classes at school?
We don't really have a stage class, but if there was, I would definitely try to get into it if it fit into my schedule. Next year, I am doing journalism for my school, which is, I hope, is like hopefully it's gonna be another outlet for my creativity and my passion for writing. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And kudos to your dad for giving you that book. Did he know? I mean, had he read it before?
He hadn't, but he is very encouraging. He and my mom are both very encouraging with, me wanting to be a performer and an actor and a writer and all this. So I think he just thought it would, I think he opened up. He thought it would open up another pathway into my, career or, outlets for my creativity. And it did. It definitely did. It worked. So yeah, but he's really encouraging with giving me like, here's a book about comedy. Here's something funny. I'm like, oh, thanks. Then using it.
That is really cool. And thanks to your dad for introducing you to me, for those of you watching. Your dad, Gabe, has a longtime good friend of my nephew, Jason, and I got to meet you as a result of it. And now we're going to take our first break.
Okay.
It goes that fast. And kudos on your background, man. Nice choice.
Thank you. My mom was like, hey, do you want to do it by the curtains? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Nice. Kudos to Mom, too. All right, hang in there, kiddo. We're going to be right back for our first break. You hang in there, too. We'll be right back on the Think Tech Digital Network.
Aloha, my name is Kirsten Baumgart-Turner, and I'm the host of Sustainable Hawaii at thinktechhawaii.com. We air live on the internet and also on Oceanic Channel 16. I'd invite you to come for a fresh new show every Tuesday from 12 to 1 o'clock. I try to bring on guests that give us a different viewpoint on aspects of sustainability in Hawaii, as well as trying to unpack some of the difficult concepts of measuring and achieving sustainability, particularly with regard to sustainable economic growth and prosperity in Hawaii. Please join us every Tuesday from 12 to 1 p.m. Mahalo, aloha.
Aloha! How you doing? It's me, Angus McTech, wishing you to welcome and join us to see us on Hibachi Talk on Think Tech Hawaii. Join my co-hosts, Gordo the Tech Czar and Andrew the Security Guy, every Friday from 1300 to 1345. We look forward to seeing you. We'll talk tech and we'll have some wee bit of fun. And remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be. Aloha!
Hi, we are back. This is Center Stage on the Think Tech Hawaii Digital Network, and I would like to let you know that if you would ever like to join us in our downtown studio audience, you may do so. Just email jay@thinktechhawaii.com, and he will hook you up. You can also tweet me at It's All About Donna. It's all about Donna. All about Donna. Forget about the it's. Just all about Donna. And you can live tweet us during the show if you would like. That is at ThinkTechHI. There. Now, if I haven't thoroughly confused you, we're going to go back to our conversation with Holden. Welcome back, Holden.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we got a nice rundown on what sort of sparked your passion for theater, what has moved you forward to where you are now and where you would like to go. Are there other writing vehicles that you enjoy? Like, do you write short stories, anything like that?
Yeah, I dabble in a lot of things. I like, I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. I get a lot of ideas, watching this show and watching that show and that movie, and I just try to get them all down. It's like a roller coaster in my mind. And so yeah, and right now I'm kind of working on like a couple different things, short stories, like a play, like I said, for next year's play for my school. I hope to get down onto paper sometime over the summer. So yeah, I write a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Okay, awesome. What do you watch? And here's a way in which I think that your generation is probably very, very different than mine. Like, we didn't have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're relaxing at home and you want to watch, let's just talk about how do you relax?
Yeah, I like to watch a lot of TV. I think this that watching TV is definitely good for people who want to find inspiration and who like me want to write and want to perform. I think watching a lot of different things on television or reading a lot of different things can definitely help you with that. So yeah, when I want to just unwind, I turn on Netflix and I just find what I'm watching currently.
Okay. Well, see, now you get to really actively choose what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, that's something that, and the idea of watching anything on demand is very different. What do you mind sharing with us? What you're watching, like what you have queued up that you're excited about?
Well, currently I like to watch shows like all down the way. So right now I'm watching like the entirety of Friends on Netflix right now, all 10 years, which is really long and fun and funny. But then there are shows that are like on right now that I'm watching, like How to Get Away with Murder, really good TV show. When Parks and Recreation was on with Amy Poehler, phenomenal. The Office, always on my Netflix queue, always The Office. There was a show that was just on, Scream Queens, first season. It was
oh my God,
really
I
nice.
loved Scream Queens.
Scream Queens was great, and I loved it. So excited for the second season of that. I discovered this over the summer, and I mean, it's not really a discovery, but I just started watching Inside Amy Schumer. She's slowly but surely crawling up my list of favorite people ever. Amy Schumer, she's so hilarious.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's very cool. And I think that the immersion that you're able to do now that's so different, to immerse yourself in a show like Friends, rather than wait from week to week. I guess I feel like my generation, we kind of got what we got. And especially when I was your age, this was, you were lucky if your parents splurged on cable, but it was a big splurge. So we had ABC, NBC, CBS, and WTTW in Chicago. There weren't a whole lot of choices, but if you wanted to sit down and relax TV, you got what you got, kind of. You may look forward to, Saturday night when Carol Burnett's on. But for you to be able to, for people to be so proactively involved in exactly what they're going to watch at any given time, I think gives you, it gives you a different toolbox, sort of, to say, I'm going to get involved in these characters and really dive into the plot lines there. What about, and you're choosing some really good shows too, by the way.
Thank you.
What about Saturday Night Live?
Oh, Saturday Night Live, yeah. Don't know why I didn't mention that. But yeah, Saturday Night Live, yeah. My dad and I have that on our DVR every Saturday. It's Saturday Night Live. Love that show so much. And one thing I like about that show is that how they cycle in and out. How the cast that you had is far different than the cast that is on right now that I'm having growing up right now. And I love that, how it allows for different comedic styles and different, comedic tones. And it's just really great to see, how it can change and shift and warp, year to year. And yeah, honestly, I hope I get to Saturday Night Live sometime after college.
There you go. Well, when you come to Columbia College, you'll be right there. So you could be right there, Second City, where so many of those people started.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, so having watched some of the original, I'm sure you've seen the Jane Curtin and Gilda Radner and Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. Do you feel like there has been a change in comedy itself over the generations?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Specifically, like with Amy Schumer, there are things I just feel like that can be talked about and that are more okay to be talked about in the present day than there were, say, when Gilda Radner and, Jane Curtin were on SNL. Like, she talks a lot about sex and drugs and, a little bit more risque and raunchier things. And I think, people are just, back then, I feel like they would have been like, oh, what did she just say?
Yeah.
But now it's just like, we got you, Amy. You're so right. So, yeah, and I think a lot of that stuff, especially like in current events, just the field is shift, in politics and all this and, everything. And it's just a change in how we view things. Instead of with those rose-colored lenses, we're looking at them through different colored lenses.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just like that. I like that, how it's changed.
Okay, cool. Well, you're absolutely right. There's a lot that was taboo that, Saturday Night Live was really pushing the envelope. And I think they were probably responsible for, opening the envelope more than any other show. I can remember watching it and worrying that my parents were going to hear it because they probably would have made me turn it off.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's what I worry about. I was watching, Amy Schumer's comedy special with my dad back there, and I'm sitting there thinking,
how
oh my
embarrassing
gosh,
is that?
I'm not going to be able to finish this, am I? He's going to make me turn it off. But he didn't. Thank God.
That's good. Well, I think society in general is more understanding of the fact that being exposed to, foul language and some risque ideas isn't going to make you a bad person.
Yeah, and I think maybe what people are thinking is, they're going to find out anyway. Why not, at an earlier age, because, high schoolers are watching it, a bunch of people. Everyone's watching, everything they're not supposed to be watching. So, yeah,
right.
Just let them eat cake.
Well, and you're a pretty mature young man, too. I think that were you someone different, it's possible your parents wouldn't be comfortable with that. We can say that, and that would be cool, too. So, do you spend a lot of time watching YouTube?
YouTube, I mean, I watch like music videos on YouTube. I used to watch a lot more of it. Like, definitely a few years ago, I would have been really immersed in like YouTuber culture, like really fun.
Oh.
But yeah, I've kind of walked away from that. I've kind of strayed from that in later years.
Okay. And have you ever made a little video of yourself of any kind and posted it?
I haven't done that. And you don't know how many times my parents have been like, hey, Holden, post a video on YouTube. Everyone will love it. My friends are like, oh yeah, Holden, you do great on YouTube. And I'm like, maybe. We'll see.
But you're not really
But yeah.
inclined to do it?
But yeah, I haven't. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just that, criticism, maybe, a fear of mine. Or maybe, yeah. But yeah, I haven't really felt, inclined, to do anything on YouTube.
That's cool, do it when you're ready. And that's
and
pretty awesome that you recognize that maybe it's fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, though, definitely, maybe out of high school, when I'm around a different group of people, not saying that the group of people I'm around are judgmental or anything, but just, when I've, kind of got a fresher start, I definitely will probably start doing something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely put myself out there more.
Yeah.
When I'm more of an adult.
Yeah, that's cool. I noticed, like, well, I Googled you before the show because it's something that I do. And I saw that you have a Vine account and none of them are of you.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right.
I just wondered because in our society now, so many people are throwing stuff out and it's so acceptable to throw out. Well, it's so much easier to make and edit a video now. It used to be a very expensive idea that you were going to do that. First of all, you had to buy a very expensive piece of equipment. But now people are throwing things out that they have, they're silly. They have a really low, like Snapchats. They're not meant to be anything sophisticated, and they're meant to disappear. And I very often wonder, and we're going to take a break here in just a second, and I'd like to talk about this on the other side, how the availability of media and vehicles of expression are shaping our society. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go to that break, and we'll come back and we'll jump off at that. Just a light little conversation about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. All right. Hold on there, Holden, and you hold on there too. We will be right back with Center Stage.
Okay, I'm Jay Fidel. That's Ray Starling. We co-host a show called Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. It's really interesting. Ray has a way of unzipping these guys. He asks them these questions, and all this stuff tumbles out, and we find out stuff we would never know about without Ray's questions. Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome, Jay. I'm very pleased to be your Ed McMahon every Wednesday at 4 o'clock here on the internet. So you can join us and see what's happening in the energy world, and there is a lot going on. So join us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, come around. Be energized right here on Think Tech. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Kaui Lucas, host of Hawaii is My Mainland, here on Think Tech Hawaii every Friday at 3 p.m. We address issues of importance for those of us who live here on the most isolated landmass on the planet. Please come join me Fridays at 3 p.m. Mahalo.
Hi, we are back on Center Stage, and we're talking with Holden Santi, who is a young man in Michigan who is a high school student who's very interested in pursuing a career in comedy sketch writing. And we're sort of picking his brain to learn all about societal changes in art and where that is coming from. So, Holden, welcome back. So can you talk to me a little bit about what it is when you are involved in a show? Let's start there. When you're involved in a show, what do you feel? Well, first of all, let me ask this: have you been involved in any other school extracurricular projects? Any sports, newspaper, anything else like that?
A couple years ago, I was involved, like in middle school. I did water polo and swimming, which was like, yeah, super fun. But then I was like, wait, I'm not a big fan of doing this. Let's not do it anymore. So yeah, and then yeah, once theater became more prominent, like in 7th and 8th grade, and definitely in high school, I was like, okay, we can leave that behind now. It's time to, because I didn't see myself doing anything, with swimming or water polo, but I definitely did see myself, after high school pursuing theater and the arts. So I decided that that was going to be more of my focus.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about why, what is it that theater and the arts gives you in your life? Feelings, challenges, anywhere you'd like to go with it that you weren't getting from academia or sports.
Yeah, I just think, I read something somewhere about how, people, what am I looking for? How, like, people wonder, like, why would you want to be, on film? Or, like, why is that, like a fun thing, Why would you rather do that than, like, be, like, the president or be on sports? And then they found out how, people love the people on TV. They love every week seeing them on a screen or, going to the movies, and these people just make them so happy, and they, light up their life, and they make them just so happy and fill them with joy. And I think that is really what I want from this in my life. How, when I grow up and hopefully when I'm on TV or I'm in a movie or something, I hope to make people happy, and I hope to, because I might not be like this Rhodes Scholar or anything, but, people on TV, people are recognizing you and they're like, hey, it's Holden Santi. He was in that one movie, and then, that would just make me happy equally as it hopefully makes other people happy. Yeah. And I just feel like doing, something like an accountant or president or, I don't know, that's weird. The president, of course, is great. But, yeah.
Accountants are great too.
But yeah, I think that being an actor or being a writer or something, that it's creative and it's fun and people love it and they enjoy you for years and years and you're immortal in that way, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you get to touch a lot of lives and you have a legacy.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it is. It's touching people's hearts and filling them with joy and happiness. And, it's just love. They love you. And I think when they love you, you love them back. And I think that's what it's kind of all about.
Oh, okay. So there's a shared experience from your side of it. Have you been involved in any kind of film?
Film, other than for like school, no.
Okay.
Not yet, because there's not a lot of opportunities where I am. I'm sure I could put like something on YouTube. And I have a friend who does a lot of like filmmaking for himself. But yeah, not yet.
Okay. Well, and I ask that because the loop of communication between a stage actor and an audience is immediate. Mm-hmm. It's very different in film, and it's very different in writing too. Mm-hmm. You go through all the blood, sweat, and tears long before it's there for an audience to appreciate it. So it's a longer game.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what I love about theater, in the now, like what I'm doing right now, as opposed to like film and stuff, how you do get that immediate reaction from the audience. If I say something funny or if I do something funny and people love it, then I get that. And it kind of, boosts my energy and makes me want to, make that happen again and again and again and just make them love it, make them love the show, make them love everything. Yeah.
So have you ever been involved in a show or a particular part of a show that didn't get the laugh you were expecting?
Of course there have been certain jokes that haven't, gone as well as you think with certain things. Yeah. Every audience is different.
Yeah.
With some jokes, people will laugh their butts off, and in other jokes, they will think it's offensive or not have as good of a time. And yeah, there have been those times where, I've been in a show where it might not have been me that was saying the joke, but yeah, where it falls flat or they don't quite enjoy it as much as you can. But yeah, I think that happens to everyone at some point.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. And I absolutely agree. I think just about every artist I've ever talked to would have to admit on some level what they really love about it is the opportunity to express themselves in such a way that it is received positively by other people. Even if you're doing a drama and you're making people cry, you still have a connection that you didn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with why people are throwing so many videos out. There's so much content on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much content on YouTube and Snapchat and Vine, and we have all these different ways of communicating. And I think it's sort of a democratization of communication, a free communication.
Yeah, and definitely, and that's what I think why I haven't put a lot of stuff out on Vine or on YouTube. And I think it's because there's so many people that just, kind of throw things out there, like you said, and I just think it's kind of like an overload. It's kind of like an information overload. And I think what I want to do, and I feel like a lot of people say this, but I think I want to create something meaningful. And I think if I put something out there onto YouTube or put something out there onto Vine, I don't want it to just be like antics or anything. I think I want it to be something that I personally think is genuinely funny, and something that I think other people will think is genuinely funny. And I think that's why I haven't put anything out there as of yet, because I hope that, someday I'm going to get something, I'm going to make something, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to love it, and other people are going to love it, and I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to be proud of it,
Very cool. Very cool. And that's cool that you're really at home with the idea that there's going to be a lot of work involved to get there.
Yeah.
So if someone, you put something out there, say you write a piece and that goes on into production, how will you know it's successful?
The reviews, maybe? I don't know.
Oh God, honey. Sorry. You can't let the reviews hurt you. You can always let them buoy you, but you can't take them too seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely, yeah, that, and, if I'm writing a stage production, I'll know it's good because of the audience, reaction to it. And yeah, like I said, every audience is different, and I feel like some people will like something and some people will not. And I don't think you can really help whether or not they do like it. I think, you take what you get, people, write reviews that are bad, and you learn from your mistakes. And I think, with those you can help. But there's also things that you need to, take, and you need to say, I don't agree with that, and I'm going to keep doing it this way. But I'll know it's good, yeah, if they enjoy it and I enjoy it myself. And I think it's really all about what you yourself enjoy. How if you love it and the people, closest to you love it, then I think then it's a job well done. If a few people here and there, think it's, offensive or trash or whatever, I mean, you can't really let that weigh you down.
Yeah, very true, very wise words. And in this day and age that we have so many different options for entertainment. Everybody around the globe has so many different options for entertainment, so it's very likely that your niche is out there. Your audience is there, your initial audience is there, and then from that you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about drama? Have you ever been involved in a drama?
Yeah, actually, last year, the first production of our 3 high school productions was Animal Farm.
Oh.
The George Orwell book, dramatization, and that was a really, really fun experience. I loved it in part because the director at the time, our old director, gave me a part in which it wasn't funny by any means. That is a very serious play. But the part was Moses, the raven, who, even though it wasn't a comedy and he wasn't a funny part, I still got to use my creative energy. You know, I kind of was the more upbeat character, I would say, of the Animal Farm. So I got to use that. And I think that is why I love that show so much. And I could talk about it all the time. Because, yeah, I got to use my, energy and my upbeatedness to put that into a serious role, and a more serious role than I'm used to playing. But I love that experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I hope you will get more opportunity to experiment with drama. You know, some of the best comedic roles we laugh at them, they're funny because the actor is playing them with absolute conviction and reality, and that's why it's funny. It's not funny because someone's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we just have a couple minutes left, and I'd like to ask you, if you could not be involved in theater, film, those forms of creative expression, what would you do? What else would you like to study?
Can I say journalism?
You can say journalism. Why would you choose journalism?
I don't know. Because it is a form of writing, and even if it's not the type of writing that I'm interested in, it is definitely, it's kind of an outlet for me. You know, and I've seen a lot of different movies and TV shows where these people are having a lot of fun, and I've spent a lot of time, even though I'm not even part of the class, in my high school's newsroom, and it's really fun, and just the people that are involved in journalism are also pretty fun people. And I just like doing that. I like writing about current events. Definitely, I think I have a lot of opinions that I'd like to share with people, and I think that'd be a good outlet for those.
Okay, awesome. I think by the way, we're showing some of the photos that you sent to me of you involved in productions. They look pretty great. Looks like you're having a good time.
Thanks.
Definitely expressing yourself physically. We have to wrap up. I really appreciate the conversation with you.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate hearing about it, and I know that I'm looking forward to great things from you. I'm looking forward to great things from your generation of artists who are moving in such wildly different directions, and they're being raised by parents who are not only allowing that but encouraging that. You know, to a great extent, and that's pretty magical too. You know, there's it'll be interesting to see where it goes. We have my generation that we were kind of, you know, you had to stuff down things, and you weren't, it was all about fitting into a box and a mold, and we fought our way out of that, and that led to a lot of creativity. Now you have all of this freedom where you gonna go with it. That's gonna be pretty cool to watch. Thanks for sharing all of that with us very much, Holden. I enjoyed talking with you. I hope to see you again next Christmas when I'm back in Michigan.
See ya. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you very much for joining us on Center Stage. And please join us next week. We're going to be talking with Katarina Adams, who's an artist I discovered in Phoenix, and her work is kind of mind-blowingly personal for millions of people. It's going to be cool to watch. I'd like to thank a few people here. Also, I would like to thank Rich Pravis, who is our floor manager. Thank you, Rich. Zuri Bender, our studio overlord, who is in my ear, and Jay Fidel, who somehow manages to put all of this together. We will see you next week on Center Stage. Bye.